Chris Leavitt, aka Not Just a Bartender. Fernet Branca will be the only shot we take today. Disgusting. Oh, God, why? God. Oh. Shout out Dave Newman.
For my OnlyFans viewers.
Mountain Dave.
Okay. Oh, actually, I feel a little scared.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to A Shot in the Dark. I'm Joe, your host. We're here today with a good friend of mine, Chris Leavitt, aka Not Just a Bartender. Chris is a content creator, the original colonizer. We're going to edit that out, don't worry.
I'm all about gentrification.
It's all about gentrification of the internet.
Yeah.
And not the native lands.
Just cultural appropriation and gentrification of my channel.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So we're here with Chris today. Thanks for being here, brother.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Chris is one of my first, best, original friends here in Vegas when I moved out here. He's done amazing things with content creation, incredible bartender. But for the people that haven't met you, Chris, or don't know you, how would you describe yourself to someone?
I mean, I'm a career bartender for sure. I've been doing it for almost 15 years now. East Coast originally, native, kind of grew up in the woods. So like moving to a big city like Las Vegas was always kind of a big, change of pace. And obviously the hospitality industry here was so much more than I ever experienced anywhere else. And then I have always been a fan of just creating content. So I loved taking photographs. Video was never really my thing, but then I chose to get into it, I guess. And then now I get to call documenting my life my job, which is kind of wild, and having fun with it. I don't know what I would call myself or how to wrap it up in like a few sentences, but that's probably why my account is just Not Just a Bartender, because there's a lot of different things I'd call myself and then nothing at the same time. So
yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. And I forgot to do some real quick. So today, of course, Chris and I are, strongly against the shooting bitter shit just to shoot bitter shit. So today, because we're masochists and we hate ourselves like every other bartender, Fernet Branca will be the only shot we take today. Disgusting.
My gut already feels
that's going to clean out the pop-up from last night.
Yeah.
And, of course, here we have a couple of our chasers today. To follow that up, we have Athletic Brewing's IPA, their Golden Dawn, Upside Dawn? That's a weird way to put that. Upside Dawn Golden Ale, some Star Wars branded Coke, and Miller High Life. None of these people sponsor this podcast. Be a lot cooler if you did, though. But jumping back into it, so I got to see you kind of start this content journey. We were working together, and I remember that kind of pivotal point where you were like, this new restaurant concept's not going to open. I'm going to leave the company. What do I do next? And a lot of us were encouraging you, like, fuck it, you have the savings, just jump into it, dude. Like, full head first, you caught a good wave. And now that you've been doing it for a few years, you've kind of grown and blown up into the level that you are, which I think is at the kind of the higher end or tier of at least liquor content creators or bar content creators. Now that you yourself are kind of a professional content creator, what content do you consume? And why do you consume that content? Is it for enjoyment, like to zone out and get away from it, or are you consuming to then find inspiration?
I mean, I feel like I doom scroll just like anyone else, but I would say in certain buckets, like there's definitely a bucket of content that I find inspiration from, and I find a lot of inspiration from like different food creators. I find their content in general, most people like easily gravitate toward because it's so much more ubiquitous than cocktails, and it's a little bit more time consuming. They have put a lot of effort in it, but there's a lot of like cinematic guys that do it. There's people that don't do cinematic and they just really engage really well and like show their personality. And I realized, just like working behind a bar, I think people that we gravitate toward when you're sitting in front of a bar are the same people that like are able to connect with you really well. And I really like content creators that put themselves forward. And yeah, they might be making something, they might be doing something interesting, but we probably stick around because it's the person, it's their personality, it's however their views are, their opinions, and there's a reason why we're staying and coming back to it. So I find whoever I'm consuming, I attach myself to the person. Yeah. And like, it's always interesting to watch how like they progress in their video style or how they story tell differently. So there's that bucket that I find inspiration from. And then, yeah, there's just random shit that I find interesting. Like I'll go down rabbit holes for, I don't know, like skateboarding content, because I used to be a skateboarder as a kid. And like for some reason I'm gravitated toward watching skate videos, and I would literally never do any of those tricks now, but it's fun to watch people do things that I can't do.
Yeah.
I get down rabbit holes of like shit that's going on in the world. You know, the news is crazy these days. And I feel like I balance myself out with just about every kind of content, but I definitely have a certain, person or few people that I find inspiration from, and I'll watch consistently.
Yeah, for sure. I think if people saw our shared messages, we'd both be canceled.
Yeah, no.
Our For You pages definitely don't reflect.
I'm in like 2 or 3 group chats that nobody should be allowed to see. I know that Meta can, but
the FBI is disgusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. You use the word ubiquitous, which I can't spell, but to jump into our first little game here to get involved, we're going to do a little spelling bee for you.
I can say the word ubiquitous, but I don't know if I can spell it. Does somebody have it pulled up?
No, Angelo will flash it on the screen, and we'll both fail miserably. But
I think I know how to spell it.
You're going to spell a couple common industry brand.
Okay,
Yeah, we're not spelling onomatopoeia or
for a second.
Or, I don't know, Hitler.
TRU. What? Sorry.
What? Whoa. Pretty accurate. Anyway, so 3 words. You got to get 2 out of 3, or you take the shot of Fernet.
Okay.
If you get more than 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3, I take the shot of Fernet. So, first word, Tanqueray.
Oh, okay. Tanqueray.
Very good. We did this with a Cuban last time, and
I've written a lot of
much
menus,
worse.
So I've had
much worse at spelling than you were. Shout out Christian. Cointreau.
Cointreau. Cointreau.
All right. Well, it's guaranteed that I take the shot now. Look at me. I hate all of you.
Upward.
Oh, thanks.
Go ahead and say the third word.
Thanks, Dad. Courvoisier.
Oh, okay.
Damn. Fucking ubiquitous.
Courvoisier. COURVSIER.
That is incorrect.
So yeah,
Gross. Nope.
I haven't had to spell Courvoisier in a long time.
Shout out Joe Rogan.
You doing a chase?
Hell yeah, I'm doing a chase. Do you think I'm gonna raw dog this, dude?
I'm gonna do a little mini one with you, so you're not alone.
Think I'm raw dogging this?
This is exactly how much.
This is the national.
Perfect. That's enough for Nat.
It's a national drink of Argentina right here, except it's normally good Coke. Well, I love Coke Zero, but salud.
Enjoy.
Oh God, why?
That's so correct.
He almost made me spit.
It's gonna be a long podcast.
God.
It's gonna be like
5 minutes. I want you guys to know I did a pop-up last night. A lot of soju and beer. 0 Fernet was had, which made it the best pop-up ever. I'm still recovering from that. So moving along. So obviously with
Oh, there are notes. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. That's I'm
I
not.
thought you were secretly filming
I'm not
your
that
bulge.
fucking smart.
It was propping up your bulge.
Hell yeah, dude. Fluffer, can I get the fluffer in here? Should have worn tighter.
These are the clips you gotta keep.
These are the best ones.
Yeah. I'll prop mine up too.
Yeah, bro. Just a dildo.
OnlyFans stream
Just
on
a
right now.
dildo sticking out. Fucking oh shit.
Oh god.
So with content creation, we've talked about the word influencer a lot. I know you hate that word. Why do you hate the word influencer? What about that word? I know there's a lot of connotation with it nowadays, and everyone's an influencer, but why do you specifically dislike that word?
I think it's because of the connotation. When you have like over the last I don't know, with the influencer person or like that job has been kind of developing over like the last 5 to 8 years. Whenever Instagram became a platform for sharing photos, and then sort of expanding to what we see it as now. Becoming a person who can just like influence people is, I guess, the way that you want to look at it. It becomes this cringy looking job. Just like when I think about people who call themselves a mixologist, like I want to slap them because it's not a real title. And I think people invented it to try and prop themselves up as something that was more important than your average bartender. And at the end of the day, like, we're all doing the same fucking job. And while that comparison is not entirely the same, because, like I said, they invented the term mixologist to make themselves feel important. I don't think influencers invented that title for themselves, but it definitely separates them from what I kind of enjoy. What my job is like is that I'm creating something. And so I love the word content creator as a simple term for what I do, because I share, I create something that I'm passionate about, and I share it with you. And I'm just lucky to be creating content in a space where brands can get plugged in. And so they look at me like an influencer. And yes, I have to pick up a bottle to use inside a cocktail or whatever. But if I had a choice, yeah, don't call me an influencer. I hate that. If you want, call me a content creator, then that's fine with me. I don't know, just gets used out by influencer.
So with that, those titles and things you get thrown around with what you do, and now your kind of prevalence on the online space, obviously we know that comes with a lot of hate.
Sure.
And so you've been known to kind of be the king, or one of the kings of staying petty online. Has anyone being petty with you or comment ever really gotten under your skin? Like, is there one that really sticks out?
In the beginning, before I was being petty, back to who would comment on my videos, I used to take what people would say personally. And in the early stages, when I was first gaining some momentum, when you gain momentum, you're going to find an audience that doesn't know who you are, likely doesn't even like this style of content, because you hit a certain rate of success in the algorithm where it just starts kicking it to anybody. And there are dickheads on the internet that are going to say stuff to purposely upset you. And they're meant to troll you. They spend their days making themselves feel better by being assholes on the internet. And in the beginning, I thought those were people that just didn't understand me. And so I spent a lot of time trying to be nice and finding like a middle ground, trying to educate or whatever. And then I realized over multiple times of trying to coalesce this thing that wasn't supposed to happen, I didn't need to convince anyone to like me. I just started to give less of a fuck and decided, if you're going to be a dick, I'm going to be a dick to you just as much. Is there a comment that I still think about? Absolutely not. I think all the ones that were mean in the beginning and I kind of like worked through, I kind of forgot when I realized I can just be who I am. And now, like, I couldn't remember. I'll jump over 1,000 nice comments to comment on someone who's being a dickhead, because if they spend time to be mean, I'm going to be just as mean in return. So
I think that's a big part of like your success, at least from my perspective as someone who's seen you come up, is that your authenticity is there. You can kind of tell when an influencer or a content creator isn't being genuinely who they are. And I think it's along the lines of people and staying petty of like guys like Giuseppe Gonzalez and even someone like Anthony Bourdain, who was like, to me, one of the original influencers, right?
Sure.
RIP Anthony Bourdain. And you said at one point that in one of your videos, you wanted to be the Anthony Bourdain of bartending, essentially. Yeah. So the next game here is we're going to ask you 3 Anthony Bourdain questions.
Oh, God. Okay.
So same kind of concept, 3 questions. You get 2. I shoot. You get less than 2. You shoot. So here we go. What's Anthony Bourdain's favorite sandwich?
Oh, it's like a fried bologna sandwich, pan fried with like mayo and on a brioche type thing. I think there's something else, but that's it. Or mortadella. Mortadella. Yeah.
All right, you got it right. Fuck it. That counts. What was Anthony Bourdain's hangover cure?
I'm gonna say like a bowl of pho.
Close? Not
No,
really.
that's not close. I'm like barely 1/3 of that.
Weed, Coke, and you're like Szechuan pho. They're both Asian, whatever.
Yeah.
What country holds Anthony Bourdain's favorite cuisine? It's not beans and toast in the UK.
I'm assuming, like, based on the content that I've always seen clip-wise, because he loves Asian countries, it's either going to be Thailand or Vietnam. I'm gonna go Thailand.
All right. Well, that's actually
Fuck yes.
that was my guess because I was like,
Yeah.
Thai seems like the
Thai's one of
boarding
my
chip.
favorite cuisines, and like I feel like over the last I don't know, I moved here in 2020, back again, and I've had more. Fuck you.
You're gonna get a baby shot, motherfucker.
I've had more Thai food than probably any other cuisine, and it's not because I had the Bourdain. I just fucking laugh.
Vegas is filled with Thai food.
Yeah, I'm going to Lotus Siam on Friday, which he filmed at before.
I hate myself. I need to pick harder questions.
He said it's a bit easier to drink as you go on.
Oh God.
God.
Oh.
Okay. Disgusting.
Let's stick to it. I should have brought Menta.
I see. Menta's
I should have brought Menta.
Menta's so much better. Questions from your bulge.
Not bulge, dude. I'm not gonna throw up. I think I have to burp, and I'm just giving it a second. Just puke back into the bottle and probably taste better.
Watch it down one of the shot for a minute.
What a waste of saffron, huh? The world's like,
You use saffron?
yeah, I'm pretty sure Fernet is like the largest consumer of saffron. I think. That's a Google. Google that real quick. I think Fernet uses like all the saffron, like 80% of the world's saffron or something. It's crazy. If it does, what a waste of fucking saffron. That's why it's so goddamn expensive.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Oh, Jesus.
75%.
Fucking hell, bro. 75% of the world's saffron goes into Fernet.
That's insane.
That's why it's expensive. Like saffron, not Fernet. You took the saffron out of that, it'd be a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
Couldn't give it away to people. Anyway, the Fernet ambassador is going to find me one day and fucking murder me. I swear to God. Talking all this shit. I love it. So, as this journey has kind of evolved for you in the world of content, where do you see it? I guess when you started, is this what you kind of envisioned it becoming? Was this your goal? Or was it just kind of like, I'm going to start and see what happens?
I don't really know if anybody who gets into content and succeeds in it, if they know where it's going. I had an idea, like I know that people that find success in content creation, they can at least have a lot more control over their life. The ability and like frequency that I travel at this point to different bar shows, to work with certain brands that I have been like pouring from my back bar for years has been like a trip. Like the fact that I did like this Wild Turkey collaboration with Rolling Stone to help promote their new or re-release of their 8-year-old 101. Like moments like that, I sit there and I'm like, this is fucking wild. I couldn't expect anything that I have now. I kind of hoped for the ability for me to just be able to pay my bills and do this full time. Everything else above that has just been like the whipped cream, cherry on top. Everything that I get moving forward, the moment my bills are paid, is just a bonus. You know what I mean? Like I never expected any of this stuff, to be honest.
So say tomorrow content creation was ended, you know, when the whole TikTok thing that we're going to show. Let's say content creation ended tomorrow. You know, you cash out what you got. What would you do?
Like, hold on, are we completely devoid of the internet?
No, but let's just say content creation, monetizing, all that stuff is like done. If you couldn't make money,
back to bartending. I'd go back in the hospitality space. I'd maybe do it in a different country. If I could, like, if I wipe myself clean of like all my debt, which I still haven't done.
Yeah. Well, say all that was just clean slate, but content could no longer be what you were doing.
Go back to bartending. I would just do it somewhere cool. I'd go to like, I don't know, fucking a coastal city. Make sure if I can pay my bills again, if I could just like be happy, work in a cool space, even if it's like a dive bar. I mean, like my retirement plan is to have a dive bar near the ocean one day. Have all my homies come through, like, yeah, go ahead, go behind the bar. We just kind of take like shifts as we are also drinking together, just retiring, you know, and then close up shop, go to the beach, do like just, you know, sail off into the sunset. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Something, dude.
This fucking guy is.
Notice he only said homies. I'm just saying, you know. I guess you can have girl homies. Shout out girl homies.
Curl homies.
I won't ask you the worst one because obviously we don't want to ruin any contracts. What's what's been your favorite like collaboration post or even beyond that, your most, I guess, surreal moment? When did you like fucking stop and you're like, Jesus Christ, this is my life right now. Like, I get to do this.
I mean, the Rolling Stone one was really cool. Like, that kind of tripped me up to know that, one, the brand, Wild Turkey, is the one that kind of helped set this thing up.
Yeah.
Because they work with the PR and marketing team for certain projects to help boost visibility for certain projects. Obviously, this was a big one for them, and the guy who was on their marketing team, like, specifically had me on a list that Rolling Stone used to then pull me into the gig, and I was, kind of like selected on the spot. I moved mountain. Like, I had one other project that was kind of in the way of it, and I canceled that or moved that so I could do this. That was like a really cool, surreal moment. But I think like getting to be like the guy who's helping promote like the Cointreau margarita competition, like a brand that's so easily accessible and like well known in our industry, reached out to me to help get bartenders on board to compete, which I think is kind of like an honor. Like, yeah, no, I'm not going to compete myself. Like, I'm probably never going to enter a competition again. But the fact that they trusted me to like help encourage other bartenders up and coming in their 20s, who is a great bulk of my audience that I find the most fulfilling to like make content for.
Yeah.
And they trusted me to do that. And I think those are the moments where I get to like feel very proud of the collaboration, because it's tying in not only my relationship to a brand that I really respect, but they also see that what I'm delivering is trying to gain an audience or people that I respect. And I create hoping that they feel inspired or motivated to get better, make better recipes, simplify things, whatever. And yeah, those are probably some big ones that come off the top of my head.
I guess when some of these proposals come by, like, do you ever wrestle with like doing some of these projects versus not doing them due to like money or anything? Is that ever like a hard thought in your head? Do you have to fight with that, or are you kind of in that space where you don't need to fight with yourself and you kind of get to pick what you want to do?
There have been some brands that reached out that were trying to negotiate too far low based on like what we've said is like my market rate with my agency. And there have been at least 3 or 4 times where I'm like, I fucking love this brand, but they are completely devaluing what I do. And like, where other brands have paid either the full price or just around that or even above that, and I'm like more than grateful for it because they see me as someone valuable to partner with, and I've said no to them. And I've said way more no's than I've said yes to. So despite like the amount of branded content I do now, for every branded piece that I post, there are at least 5 or 6 no's that were in between that. I will say that out of the 3 that were like big brands that I like had respect for, that I said no to, 2 came back and like actually came closer to meeting what we believe is what like my reach's value, etc., the production, like all the things that make my content me. They finally like just were like, okay, yeah, we'll negotiate a little bit better.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, I've turned down a lot of gigs that either paid full price because I just didn't like it, or I couldn't feel authentic like promoting the brand. In the end of the day, like I said earlier, I already will pick up something to go into a cocktail, maybe several bottles, especially like something that has multiple ingredients. And featuring a product is really easy to integrate into what I do. I think the other thing that I wrestle with most of the time is them trying to dictate how their brand is communicated into the recipe video. And my audience for sure can immediately pick up that this is a branded post. And I try to convince them to meet either more in my direction or accept that if we share this, we're not going to have the performance that you want because it's outside of the rhythm or the natural scope of like how I do my content. Let me deliver it as much as I can the way that I need to. So it's giving you the best chance. I'm trying to do it in their favor to have a successful post done my way.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go my way, I already immediately know where this video is going to go. My core audience, they're going to be ride or die and like support it. And they understand that this game is not paid by them. Like,
Yeah.
I get nothing.
Yeah.
In terms
Alcohol
of,
can't be monetized, so any alcohol related posts you're not getting paid for.
It's not even that. It's view counts for short form video do not generate anything in terms of like revenue from any platform. Like shorts, reels, TikToks. The most I have gotten out of them, like it was when the program first launched, was from TikTok. They launched the Creator Fund. I got part of the beta program. And I was making like $1,000 a month off of views. And I was doing really well back then too.
Yeah.
But then they adjusted. They curtailed the amount that they were giving per view. And then I also, because I'm in a category that's actually restricted on TikTok, get very minimal views when I do my content now. And I'm lucky if I make $100 on TikTok. And I can't pay my bills with $100, 0 from Instagram, 0 from Facebook, 0 from YouTube. So partnerships are just part of the game.
Yeah.
And so I think my audience, as long as I balance enough organic content, will understand, like, for me to do the cool organic stuff, the fun, music driven videos, or just a really intricate, advanced stuff that I do, or just bullshitting, like showing my life or travel, etc. That stuff is paid for by the branded content, and they support it.
1,000%. Well, that's interesting. So now what we're going to do, hearing your explanation of how you kind of wrestle with all this, is we're going to arm wrestle to keep it simple.
Sick.
Because there's nothing simpler than just two dudes going at it, arm wrestling.
No homo.
We can be homo. It's fine. Man.
We're just a couple of straight dudes.
Me and Q have shared a bed together. It's in opposite sides, but it was.
Do you guys touch butt to butt?
No, he fucking snores like a battle axe, dude, but it's fine.
Whoa, man.
All right.
We're going to do it on this table?
Yeah, we're going to set this up.
That's it. This is going to be for my OnlyFans viewers. Real quick. I'm going to keep the mic up.
This is my non-tattoo art.
I'm going to kick his ass.
Fuck.
I've seen your daily workout posts. Okay. Oh, actually, I feel a little scared.
He's going to beat me, and it's going to be really sad. I'm like 100 pounds heavier than this dude.
One of you guys has to put your hand from like behind just to hold us.
We'll do a 3, 2, 1 go.
Yeah. Hold on.
You guys get set.
Curling your wrist, dog.
All right. Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
He's got leverage.
I'll change things here.
It's fine. We're good. I don't know if he's trying or not, and that's what makes me worried about it. I'm like, fuck. Oh. I'm more of a static power kind of guy. This guy.
If you could probably squat me though.
1,000%. If any of you got wet watching that, it wasn't because of me. Oh.
Wait, do you have the drink now?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Baby one for you, because fuck off. Oh, God. I should have poured lighter.
You could pour a little bit more.
All right.
Just a smidge.
Oh.
I fucking knew you were doing that.
You shouldn't have offered.
All
right. Salute, bro.
I'm going to hurl this fucking breakfast.
My
arm is shaking.
Let me grab this.
The winner shake.
The winner shake. Oh, God, why?
Oh. There's no reason why anybody should like that.
It's not, I used to think people, oh, fuck.
This is exactly what I remind myself of when I was first living in Vegas. And we would go to Herbs and Rye in its heyday. And they would just have bottles of Fernet sitting in ice on top of the bar. And they would line up 100 booties across the bar. And everybody in the bar, the lounge, everything would take a shot on like the end of the night. And like the bartenders are giving you a handshake before you go. I'm like, bro, I didn't need it, first of all. And then I wake up hungover as fuck, and all I can taste is Fernet because I didn't brush my teeth because I'm a stupid idiot.
My friend Speakeasy in Hawaii, fucking Harry's Hardware Emporium, they break fresh cookies and give you a shot of milk at the end of the night. Why we do this shit? This is bullshit. Shout out Dave Newman. But like,
All right. That's fine.
I used to think bartenders shop Fernet because it might have been like low ABV. No. And then I looked at the bottle and I was like, this is basically 40%. I was like, it's 39%. It's like, this is bullshit. No. Fuck. Mahalish. Fill the gap. All right. Jesus Christ. Or were we? I hate my life. Fernet, if you sponsor this,
There's no.
I'm still not going to
shot in hell.
pretend I'll like it, but you'll be on the podcast of all 10 viewers.
I mean, listen, you may have guests that'll like it.
Yeah.
So
We definitely all guess that like it. Not me.
yeah, because
but
a bunch of bartenders who pretend they like.
fucking hate themselves. Every single one of them make a face. Yeah, fucking nerds. Bet you call yourself a mixologist too.
Just go to therapy already, you fucking.
So, two-parted to this question. The first part is, your life still kind of revolves around hospitality, liquor, beverage, service. What's your favorite part about bartending? What's your favorite part about the hospitality industry and why you're in it?
I think it's the same thing that I love about, like, what fulfills me out of content is that I'm connecting with people. Bartending, you get to do it every day during service. And then, every shift is going to have its mix of people that show up. There's going to be people that just want to be left alone, or they're on a date. They need a little bit more privacy. Then there's others that show up and they just want to have a conversation. They want to geek out. They want to splurge. Like, there's always these different scenarios. And every day is kind of like a roll of dice. And while I don't have that same connection immediately with creating content that way, I do get, I guess, the overlap for me from hospitality, working behind a bar, to content is just connection, like communicating with people who I think are trying to pay attention, learn, grow. And I post things that I do my way and that I am learning myself, like discovering new cocktails, doing cocktails that I've done on menus before, traveling, whatever, just kind of just showing me, and people resonate with that. And I think I built a successful bartending career because I was able to break that barrier that I think a lot of people feel in the service industry, where there's this level of professionalism that always exists, especially if you're like a server and you've got people who are sitting at a table. People that sit at a table versus a bar have totally different mentalities about like what level of interaction they want. And I feel like at the bar, people who sit at the bar are bar people, unless they're forced to sit there for some reason.
Yeah.
But a majority are showing up because they want to be there, and they're likely the type of people that want to feel this, camaraderie or connection at the bar. And so my favorite thing to do when I was bartending was to immediately break that barrier, that professional, overly professional barrier, and be like, yo, you're here to have a good time. I'm here to have a good time. The better that we get to do that, like in sync,
Together. Yeah.
the better we're going to have. You know what I mean? So I think I miss that the most. I miss feeling that like satisfaction of like how a shift went, and it had nothing to do with like how cool my drinks looked or the wash lines or bullshit like that. I still focused on those things. I made sure I executed really well, but I had a good shift when people had a great time.
Yeah.
So now I get fulfillment from content creating when people are recreating the drinks, messaging me, telling me like they did this for their family holiday get together, or I had bartenders who started off as barbacks and watched my barback video, realizing like they needed to ask for that next promotion, right? And so just little things that I keep trying to show that I believe in, whether it's just as simple as a recipe or what I think about, career progression or whatever. I think that's where I get to connect.
Yeah.
So.
I think for me that in recent years, we've had this discussion a lot of like, and you kind of knew me as I was like, my head was focused on awards and chasing things. And like, I think now, even though I haven't necessarily achieved that, it's like my mindset has shifted now to like, why am I doing this for other people's gratification at the end of the day? And we understand there's a political component and aspect to it behind it. And I'm sure there is in content creation. There's going to be, people who like other people better constantly. That's why certain people get certain gigs, I'm sure. So it's, I think even with my pop-up that I do with Jen, just learning that like, there's always going to be people that want to support you. You just have to show up for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Before anyone else. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing that I've learned from you and Daniel and some of these other guys. Like, it can't be about the vanity. It has to be about doing something for you.
Yep.
And a lot of people may look at content creators or mixologists or bartenders and think that you can see the ones that don't do it for those authentic reasons, and they're the ones who don't necessarily resonate with the crew. So with that, the last question is, what's the worst part about bartending or hospitality and content creation in general right now with the way things are going?
I feel like my least favorite things about hospitality were like poor management, like poor leaders. There's definitely a difference, I think, in my mind between a leader and a manager, but in simple terms, like if you had somebody who didn't know how to like properly like integrate themselves with the staff and they were lazy or just neglectful, didn't feel like they were part of the team. It's like, what the fuck are you even doing here? You just count the money at the end. Like, that's not managing. That's not like feeling like you're a part of whatever we're trying to execute, especially since I think that people that are passionate about this job, they need someone who's a leader that's going to really guide the ship really well. That doesn't necessarily mean I have those same problems in content creating. Content creating, I feel like my least favorite part of the job is part of what I said earlier, which is trying to convince brands that I work with, which makes my job paid, realize that I'm trying to develop or deliver on a certain vision or something that I'm proud of, and I know that'll do really well for them, and trying to convince them otherwise because they have some fucking agency telling them, oh no, we should have this thing be the part of the campaign, have these KPIs. I'm like, no, like that doesn't work for what I do, and trying to force me to do that thing will just lead to an unsuccessful partnership. And I don't want that. I don't want something attached to my name to fail. I don't want something they're spending money on to fail. And I feel like maybe there's some crossover with like how brands treat bars too. How on the local level, when you have like distributors and suppliers working with bars, finding the right partnership that doesn't just seem like, oh, I just need my bottle in the back bar when my boss comes in so I can like check that off my box. Like that's not a conversation worth having. Like, do the work, make a relationship. And you and I know, like, the people that we care about from the supplier distributor side will always get our business because they're not just there to cross a check off their box. They're there to make a relationship. And I think it kind of goes, hand in hand. Like, this whole discussion, like, the best parts of what we do are around connecting and, like, making genuine relationships with people. It's got to be done the same way with brands. Like, I feel like those who are the most successful in those brand roles or distributor roles, they're the ones that are connecting. And they're spending the time to actually build a relationship with the people they're doing business with. And they're answering the calls on a Friday because they're knowing their customer or whoever needs them to fix a problem with them. And then that's going to pay off for you. Like, that work is going to mean that wherever this, company goes or wherever this, bar director goes, they're going to want to bring you with them. They're going to want to give you those favors for you because you did them the favor.
Yeah, I think it was more important for me when, and I won't say any specific brands, but I think it was, I don't, you never know who you're going to work for or work with in the future. But, I've done competitions, trips, all kinds of things. And it was more important to me, like when my pop-up started, the support for that, even though I wasn't asking for much, versus like taking me on a trip or spending a bunch of money in my account. And I tell this to people all the time, and I have this very candid discussion with brands that come in. I was like, I don't need you to come in and spend $10,000 in my account. I need you to show face. My bartender should know your name. They should know who you are. When you walk in, it shouldn't be this surprise, like, who is this person?
Yeah.
And there's people that I think go above and beyond, people like Kinson. That's why we all love him and respect him, because I've never seen someone go from breakfast to brunch to lunch to education to 6 different dinners. And I don't know how this man does it, and because of that, he will have everyone's loyalty, not because he comes in and spends $10,000 or $2,000 or even $500. It's because he understands how the game is played, but also he's just, I think, around this whole episode and what we're talking about is being authentic to yourself and who you are, because he genuinely is just a good person. I never feel like it's a transaction with Kinson, and I never feel pressured by him. Like, if I don't do this, he's not going to show up for me when I need him.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway from that. And it's the same with, you know, as we wrap this up, like, who has been a great friend to me as I moved out here to this new area. Because when I first moved out here, when I was with my ex-fiance, mostly her friends were our friends. I didn't really have that many. And so someone like you who was very genuine, you know, I came into the bar program that you were kind of running. It was never like sit back, buddy. You know, it's like, no, what do you want to do? Let's talk about it. Let's, you know, let me introduce you to some people. Yeah. There's no gatekeeping. And I think that's the biggest thing this industry has kind of turned into. It's awards chasing, gatekeeping, people thinking that the pot's not big enough. And yeah, the pot's shrinking a little with brand money and things like that. But, you know, I think we do each other a disservice when we don't take care of each other, because at the core of hospitality, that's what it's about, is taking care of each other.
For sure.
So with that said, if you guys don't follow Chris or know him, follow him. He's a fucking great dude. Content's great. He's very genuine. He is venturing off, by the time this episode airs, he'll already be there, but he's venturing off to the East Coast to take care of some personal things. But couldn't be more fucking blessed to have you as a friend, dude, have you as a mentor, and just, I don't know, just a great fucking person to be around. So with that said, I mean, any closing thoughts for the people out there?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are watching this and if there's anything to take away from what we just talked about, is focus in on just connecting with others. You're going to enjoy your job no matter what you do. What if you're in the hospitality industry or not? I think what I realized being 35 years old now is that I've enjoyed life so much more with other people around and bringing other people up with me than trying to, you know, keep isolated, keep myself successful over other people. I think we're on this planet for a very short amount of time, so bring people along for the ride.
Yeah, I think with that said, a quick shout out, it's like, you know, being military and all that stuff, suicide's such a big thing. Like, if there is someone you notice that's kind of by themselves a lot, isolated, like, make the effort, bring them out, invite them, even if you think they're weird or whatever. Like, we all struggle, we all need a friend, so I think that's just something very important to call out. And again, if you're in this industry, why are you not doing that already? So with that said, this has been a shot in the dark. Thanks so much for Chris for joining us. You can follow him at Not Just a Bartender on all his platforms. He makes enough money. Don't reach out. Reach out to us if you want to sponsor someone.
But $20 a series.
Yeah. Hey, rent, $20 is $20, baby. You got to pay that rent. So join us next time for, you know, more conversations and, of course, more importantly, more shots. Cheers.